Welcome back to Druidcast with DisillusionDruid. This week on the Conspiracy Meta podcast, the theme is collapse. Starting on a lighter note, the Romanian election was officially annulled by Romania's constitutional court last Friday. A quote-unquote far-right candidate, ultra-nationalist Călin Georgescu, it's Romanian, bear with me, won the first round of elections, which the Romanian government declared fake news. The same news that pushed the benefits of the vaccine is now telling us that the Russian Kremlin election interference took place. A TikTok campaign supposedly influenced the election, promoting pro-Russian conspiracy theories that boosted Georgescu to the top of the polls overnight. Unfortunately, NATO, the European Council on Foreign Relations, and the Associated Press all believe canceling elections is fine as long as Russia is behind the reason. Never mind the fact that most of the Twitter journalists seem to think someone else is to blame for this one. Georgescu is appalled, claiming the Constitutional Court committed a coup and undermined democracy. We heard all this before. It's not like the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the Council on Foreign Relations, or the Associated Press all warned us that artificial intelligence could be behind election interference or anything. I'm honestly amazed that these people can just doublespeak like that. They can warn us of what they're going to do to us, the globalists, but somehow they still make us read it as though they're protecting us from themselves. Doublethink is the new religion. Staying on the subject of globalists toppling regimes, the Assad regime in Syria has finally fallen, paving the way for even more instability in a region known for being built on shifting sands. Supposedly fleeing to Russia, Bashar al-Assad up and leaving Syria signaled the end of a 54 Assad family grip over the country. Benefiting from his father, Hafez al-Assad, leading a coup in 1970 that, well, long story short, the CIA started a coup in the country, then they set up an opposition to commit a coup against that coup, then they set up an opposition to commit a coup against that opposition, and on it goes. The real tragedy is not the CIA's repeatedly unethical involvement in Syria, but with the Syrian people and culture that has been utterly decimated, exported, and annihilated over the decades. Not only have the Syrians lost their homeland and any form of stability until the globalists lay their foundations, but Syria was home to some of the oldest and richest culture in antiquity, a unique chapter in the human story no matter which way you swing it. All of it buried now in rubble and chemical weapons dust. Nineveh, a city once reported to take 3 full days and nights to walk across, the ancient capital of Assyria, is now nothing more than a memory of a memory, while whispers ripple through the ether of Islamic rebels cementing their control in the capital, with rumors of Israel pushing into the region to establish their own influence. Wray resigned Wednesday as FBI director, a preemptive move to prevent himself from being fired and pave a path for Kash Patel to move into his job. Besides the obvious MKUltra resume, Wray's biggest offense seems to be stabbing Trump in the back after Trump appointed the man. Between disavowing conspiracy theories like Russiagate, condemning January 6th as an insurrection, and apparently interfering with the FBI's investigation into Hunter Biden, maybe he knew the pardon would always come, Wray plans to resign 7 years into his 10-year appointed term. If Trump has to drain the swamp of swamp creatures he put in office, though, isn't he just making twice the work for himself? Jay-Z was implicated last weekend in the Diddy case, allegedly having a child, a 13-year-old. Jay-Z, in classic rap battle fashion, clapped back at the lawyer seeking to prosecute him, and the lawyer returned Jay-Z's volley, stating that he won't be intimidated by chomos. I never really liked Jay-Z. His songs about Lucifer and releasing the blueprint on 9/11. There's something off about him. The best thing Jay-Z ever did was get Kanye West started, but then again, things aren't looking too great for Kanye these days. Let's take a minute to assess the company Jay-Z likes to keep.
Make me break down and cry. Oh, I want the young American. Young American. The young American. I want the young American. Oh, I want the young American. Young American. Young American. I work with you, boy. I work with you, boy. You work with me.
Instead of worrying about the allegations, Jay-Z decided to attend the premiere of Mufasa's The Lion King instead. Remember that, it'll come up later. In other news, most definitely timed and related, also, Daniel Penny was acquitted this week. Some of you may be unfamiliar with the story. Last year, Jordan Neely, a black man with a record and possible mental illness, was restrained and died from a chokehold by former athlete and Marine Daniel Penny on the New York City subway. Race tensions George Floyd style simmered for a hot minute, only for the case to fade into obscurity during election year. Bobby Puleo once again covered this case extensively and the potential Masonic theater. I suggest you go look at his posts on the whole thing, from Jordan Peele to George Floyd to Abraham Lincoln. This conspiracy theory has it all. But the icon that stood out the most to me was Daniel Penny's tattoo, Samson wrestling a lion to death. The theme of lions coalesces with an even larger news topic this week, bringing us to the meat of the matter this week. Breadcrumb trails laid methodically in Luigi's mansion are media accused and acclaimed United Healthcare CEO killer. Luigi Mangione is a riddle within a riddle, managing to distract large swaths of the population. Whether it's ties to MKUltra and Nancy Pelosi, or his series of strange social media posts laced with clues to keep conspiracy theorists busy for weeks, the timing of this all, the numbers behind it, the gematria. If there's one thing you can be sure about Luigi, the media surrounding this guy is 100% scripted. I want to be as clear as possible. Luigi Mangione did not kill anybody. His social media posts were probably not posted by him. He is not a criminal. He's a character in a fiction. From details like getting caught at a McDonald's 1 month and 19 days after Trump's McDonald's media stunt, to swooning the true crime fans with his six-pack and Mediterranean antisocial charm like the Italian Ted Bundy. There are red flags here for anyone who has seen a false flag or two. For about a week now, there's been one CIA project that's been ringing in my mind every time this Luigi United Healthcare killer is mentioned, and that's Cicada 3301. Some of you, admittedly and understandably, might be unfamiliar with Cicada. It's complicated and sketchy on the details at best, but essentially try to imagine that you're the head of national security or some kind of intelligence agency. We live in a digital age. China and Russia farm their students, allegedly, and groom them from young ages to enter specific sectors of intelligence. America and the Western world does this as well, but it's not as efficient when you have to maintain the illusion of people's freedom and rights as well. So how do you find brilliant people capable of brilliant feats in an intelligence and counterintelligence sector in the digital age? What about a puzzle? Cicada 3301 was a mysterious and elaborate puzzle starting on 4chan in 2012, requiring cryptography and computer security skills only the best programmers and biggest computer nerds would possess. Picture Neo in The Matrix, the contest in Ready Player One. Now add in a whole bunch of theoretical mathematics, game theory, Kantian philosophy, occultism, and you might start to get the picture. Spanning from clues hidden in binary code and a cryptic image to physical pieces of paper taped to random street poles around the world, only for a few hours. Cicada 3301 was an amazing race for techno nerds. But what was at the end of Cicada 3301 remains a debated secret. An interesting dovetail to the whole circus behind it was that simultaneously as the last verified post of Cicada was dropped, the first post of QAnon and Q drops began. Cryptic sentences, hints of a technocratic deep state war happening behind the scenes, numerology, gematria, intelligence agencies, and dire stakes. All of this sound familiar? Now look at the breadcrumbs being laid by Luigi. Apparently the man was some kind of mad genius who knew he would be caught. Yet the narrative that he was gaining revenge on the CEO for a denied policy is made up, as we now know Luigi was never a customer of United Healthcare. Hidden clues, cryptic techno-programming secret messages, and memes in the tens of thousands locked and loaded. These are some of the reasons why Cicada 3301 comes to my mind through this all. The long and short of it, where there's layers upon layers of hidden messages and secret meanings and public contradictions, you can be sure that counterintelligence is involved. Let's get back to lions. What do Jay-Z, Daniel Penny, Luigi, and Israel all have in common? Lions. Jay-Z attended the premiere of Mufasa, The Lion King, while undergoing Diddy allegations. Daniel Penny has a tattoo of Samson wrestling a lion on his chest, invoking not only the incident that put him in court, but also providing a lion in the context of Israel, as well as reminding me of this image of George Floyd. Luigi Mangione was captured in a McDonald's, and while I'm not sure where this image came from, I believe it predated the incident. Note the lion here, and specifically the advertisement for the Lion King. Lastly, Israel and the symbol of the tribe of Judah. There's a Lion's Gate in Jerusalem. I believe it's called St. Stephen's Gate now, and the Lion's Gate is a celestial event each year. I really couldn't explain it, but mythologically it's known to occur on August 8th, 8/8, as a celebration of Orion or Osiris in antiquity. Revelation 5:5 describes the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, conquering the world so he may open the scroll of Revelation and its 7 seals, often interpreted as the second coming of Jesus Christ. Jay-Z turned 55 on the CEO shooting day, and to top it all off, the Pope is supposedly going to open some kind of secret magic doorway in the Vatican crypts. As to what all this means, I don't really know. But I think it's clear. All the world's a stage, and everyone involved in the news this week is merely its players. One bit of Luigi I didn't really see too many accounts cover was his work history. The guy worked at TrueCar, a Carvana analog based in Santa Monica, but you'd never believe who owns the stock in the company our MKUltra assassin worked at. Wrapping up the news for this week, Google impressed everyone with its technical jargon, claiming they invented a quantum chip that can solve a problem that would normally take a supercomputer 10 septillion years. That sounds like a bullshit number. What does that mean? Nothing, I'm sure, but expect AI to ramp up, technology to become more alienating, invasive, and we can kiss that lovely little late 80s, early 90s corded phone nostalgia goodbye. That's it for this week. We could go on for hours, but I'm not sure the world is ready for the long-form Druidcast just yet. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next weekend. Remember to like, share, follow, subscribe. Leave suggestions in the comments. If you feel I missed something, let me know. Sounds like Project Bluebeam bullshit is afoot, so keep your eyes peeled. Remember, if they can alter your genetics with blue laser light and they can project holograms onto floating drones, just imagine what the government can do when they actually put their mind to it. Keep seeking truthers. You can find the answers you're looking for if you look hard enough.